It's been a while, huh? 2024 was an interesting year when it comes to lost media. Ulterior Motives was found, the most mysterious song in the internet was also found, and several pieces of lost media has been discovered as well. Yeah, plus the Internet Archive was taken down for a while, but thankfully it's not lost. I'm kinda glad that we made some progress, and I myself have managed to find some old videos and content and added it to my second channel. Normally, I would usually upload 10 pieces of lost media, but I figured, why limit myself to 10? Today, I want to talk about at least 30 minutes of lost media, ranging from many topics. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. I briefly mentioned this in my body swap video, the iceberg one, and I actually do remember there being a Spanish dub for this commercial. While the English dub is still out there has not been any uploads or mention about the Spanish dub commercial, which I'm hoping people out there in the Spanish community has seen this commercial. So this one is interesting. I'm a fan of the Back to the Future movies, and it's interesting to hear that there's some piece of lost media. It was made only because of Marty's behavior in the beginning of the film, and yeah, I can actually see why. Sadly, it fell under obscurity, and there seems to be no leads to the search, despite the attempts. YouTuber Strange Australian covers this well in his video, and there's a possibility that it could exist. Unless Michael J. Fox or anyone else confirms this, it's either lost or unconfirmed. Okay, this is interesting. Apparently there are lost Disney animations, like Toy Story 3. No, not that Toy Story 3. There's also Monsters Inc. 2 and Finding Nemo 2. I've actually heard about the Monsters Inc. 2 rumor, and let me tell you, I honestly would have cried if we have met Boo again, like in her deathbed and all that stuff. Honestly, that would have made a great sequel. Anyways, there's been leaked content such as scripts, concept art, and even a draft animation. I hope that this ends up getting found by some point. I recently found this out while watching the SML Iceberg video by Mill City Reviews. But it does mention a few lost SML videos in this iceberg, such as Mario and Tony, The Wiggles, and a few others. Probably some from even the Super Mario Logan 2 channel. But if they were lost, I feel like the SML re-uploaded channel would have found them by now. Surprisingly, a few videos have been found by SML re-uploaded himself just recently, so who knows what other videos are gonna end up being found in the near future. Speaking of SMO, there seems to be a lot of videos from Froggy Company, which is pretty much the inspiration to SMO, which then they had beef with SMO. You can actually learn this from the SMO iceberg I talked about earlier. And because of their beef with Logan, it kind of led to their termination in 2010. Thanks to Jane and Amy's research on the Lost Media Discord, there's not much archived, and it's believed that 90% of their media could be lost forever. Then again, I don't believe that's the case. There were other websites during that time period, so I'm certain that there has to be a few surviving videos. Who knows? I'm sure they'll be found someday.
I'm a firing my laser!
Remember that? Yeah, I kind of feel old now, but with the multiple searches of internet images such as Jeff the Killer and the Smile Dog image, this one I found interesting. Apparently, this came from a lost Flash animation, although the existence is still unknown to this day. Even back then. I'm kinda curious myself where the image came from, but we'll probably never know. It's kinda been a while since I've seen a Rebel Taxi video, but I've heard that he has a few lost videos. Even some collab videos that are missing as well. But then again, a good amount of them are between from the year 2009 to 2010. So, I'm guessing it's probably more difficult to search.
What you making there, Gravy?
It's a pipe bomb, Jobriath, for to blow up Planned Parenthood.
I don't know, Gravy.
I'm sick of your lack of faith.
But Gravy!
I'll be honest, that's pretty much the only reason why I add this to the video. Looking at the Lost Media article, this kinda reminds me of the early days of YouTube, where people used to make dub or abridged content. Pretty much like Team 4-Star or that one Michael Jackson SpongeBob 3.1 dub. And I think Sonic X even had a ton of abridged dubs. I kinda like how they also call this the You Dig dub. Kinda reminds me of that big green dub from Dragon Ball Z. It's a shame that some of them are lost to time. This is a lost Japanese arcade game from 1979. Though the game is considered lost, there is gameplay footage of the game. One that's been recorded from the real hardware, and other footage recorded from an emulator. In 2018, one arcade cabinet was sold on the Japanese Yahoo auction site, but it is unknown who made the purchase. Because of the lack of popularity of the game here in the United States, it is unknown how many cabinets are there currently in the public. I honestly do not like Reddit for a few reasons, but I still find it helpful sometimes. especially the Lost Media subreddit. Anyways, I've talked about ScareTheater on an old Lost Media video, and he still has a lot of lost videos to this day. Mostly because he tends to delete or unlist a lot of his videos. Especially his homunculus video, which I still find funny to this day, so yeah. Yeah, I actually heard about this, and I think L Supersonic Q covered this in his recent video. Supposedly, it was an offensive ad made to promote their chicken strips. Like, the commercial in question is, a young black woman boards on a plane with a chicken, and, like, the flight attendant is, like, collecting trash. She reaches the woman's, like, chicken, and she responds with, "You better don't." Surprisingly, this goes back to the year the ad was aired, where someone in the forum talks about the ad. So it should exist. I feel like this would have a better chance of being found if people were to search like through commercial compilations. But I don't think there hasn't been any luck yet, so. This is something that was also mentioned in the Lost Media Discord. So, according to the OP, Bunny Maloney is a French kids cartoon, in quotation marks, that aired on Cabellion in the United States. Due to the poor archival practices, many of the episodes remain lost. While the French dub is entirely found, a good number of English dub episodes and music videos are still lost. But the search still remains. Throughout the past few months, even Saberspark covered this show in some detail. With that much publicity, I'm sure the chances of finding the show would be much greater. Not to get confused with the Switch game. Like, dude, this actually gives me Animal Crossing vibes. I kinda like the art style. Sadly, one of the creators of this game, Alec Holouka, sorry if I mispronounced the name. Yeah, he pretty much ended himself. Like, all we have left to the game's content is the screenshots, concept art, and video footage, and some archives. With little to no update, maybe someone's out there would have any, like, more archives or stuff like this. I actually remember watching that Kenny Launderdale video on YouTube, like talking about the show. He actually talked about the lost aspects of the show and did mention a channel that kinda archived it, but I can't find it anymore. Like, I'm guessing that the channel was either terminated or maybe they closed the account? I don't know, but like, a lot of the content is still considered lost, and it's unknown if William Winkler Productions will ever release the Harmony Gold dub. Time will only tell.
This is Boomerang from Cartoon Network.
Remember that? Yeah, that's so much nostalgia. Apparently, there are lost Boomerang bumpers and promos, which is surprising because it was popular back in its day. Before the whole rebranding. From what I can tell from the article, there seems to be a mix of partially found or lost bumpers between the years 2000 to 2014. It's surprising that a modern channel like Boomerang has a lot of lost content, but I'm guessing through commercial compilation videos, they can be found. Of all the 26 episodes, only episodes 2, 3, 5, and 6 of the anime have been found. This is a 2012 Animax dub, which once aired on Animax Asia, a TV channel owned by Animax. The company is also known for producing quick and cheap dubs, so it's unknown if they ever released a home version. I will say that, hearing Osaka not speaking in a southern accent is it's somewhat cursed. It's like listening to a whole different dub. While the Latin American show is not lost, some songs are considered lost, such as Números and En Donde Está el Pulgar. There are even unconfirmed songs out there. Kinda interesting, but it's unknown if the songs are ever going to be released in Spotify, given that Anthony Field did reveal the promise, he would release them, but nothing came up from it. I recently saw this on the Joey Engelman iceberg video. I think I butchered that name, but I found this interesting. Shaman never got traction due to the controversy, but the only remaining thing from the show is a pilot episode, which was turned into a Christmas special. But that's about it. Whether these series will be found or released remains to be unknown. Animation is really nice though, I honestly like it. I came across this on the Lost Media Discord, but I actually remember this from a while ago. But, remember a while ago, there was an attempt to find, the Wicked Witch of the West episode from Sesame Street? Well, it turns out that there's also a lost Sesame Street episode, one that covers the topic of divorce. With some of the audio and footage archived, I can actually see why this never aired. Unlike the witch episode where it's basically a creepy evil witch, this is, how do you approach the subject of divorce to a child? One that's young and doesn't understand what their parents are, they don't understand why their parents are separating. As of now, the episode is still lost, but I feel there's a less likely chance it will be released.
Meanwhile, in a floating sky raft in Russia...
I actually can't believe I laughed at that. I mentioned the offensive dub for Davy and Goliath, which I found interesting and funny, but like, I never expected to come across another related dub, one that's aimed toward Christians. Yeah, so thanks to my YouTube recommendations, there is possibly a Christianity dub for Dragon Ball Z. No, I am not kidding. Like, this is actually real. Even interesting, this apparently existed 4 years before Team 4 Star, like, made their abridged parody. I even managed to find a Reddit thread talking about this, and it's interesting how there are possibly other episodes. Like, is Frieza a Satan or something? I would actually love to see that. Anyways, hopefully someone out there who probably worked on this has any information or copies of the video out there. Made by Jess A. Ayam. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. This gained popularity within the X forum of 4chan. The story goes that an anonymous person tries to get his friend's laptop repaired that was infected by an unknown virus. The unknown virus created unknown images, with one of them having the phrase, which is binary for God. After a little while later, the OP stopped updating, only to return in another thread and broadcasting on Twitch before disappearing once more. Supposedly, the image originated from the Nostalgia Critic, of all people, and Spanish YouTuber Joka recently made a video talking about the whereabouts and interviewing Jess, the creator of such images, though I recommend watching this if you can speak or understand Spanish. But hey, another W for the Spanish community. Anyways, if he ever regains his Photobucket account, hopefully the original image will be found someday. Speaking of Jess, this was also made by him, basically a sequel to God's Face. Soon after creating another thread on 4chan, proving his identity, he decided to spend the night at his friend's house, where paranormal events were occurring, and they even started the livestream to capture the paranormal events live. The same Joka interview gives a little detail and events about this livestream as well. Whether this will be found or not is unknown, but he will give an update to Joka should he discover anything, and he's even planning on making a video of his own someday. You know, I never covered history when it comes to lost media, but I'll give it a shot. I saw this on the front page of the Lost Media Wiki, and I found it interesting, given that it talks about Caesar. No, not that Caesar. No, not that Caesar either. Lives of the Caesar covers the first 12 emperors, and other topics like wars and ideologies. The lost aspects when it comes to lost media. The wiki mentions at the intro, which includes a dedication to Septicus Clarus, that was mentioned by John de Leyden in the 6th century AD. has become lost. Additionally, part of the start of the first ruler's biography, Julius Caesar, has also become lost. Given that these are old works of literature, it may never be found. This may be unconfirmed, but given that any form of lost media could exist, yeah, this is gonna be a long one. I've heard that Bill Watterson had this rule where he forbids merchandising of any sort, and yeah, I can actually see why. Regardless, I did a little digging on the Calvin and Hobbes wiki, where he wondered if there could be like a possibility of creating an animation or cartoon show. But like, to quote the wiki, it was a little scary to think of hearing Calvin's voice, although he loved the visual possibilities animation had. With that being said, the Lost Media Wiki quotes, Disney allegedly got Eric Goldberg, an in-house animator of theirs who had recently finished working as the lead animator for the Genie in Aladdin, to make a pencil test as a way to experiment on how Watterson's characters would have looked like animated, with the test featuring Hobbes stretching and steering from a nap. It got a positive response from Watterson, although he later passed the idea because of Garfield. RIP. Supposedly, there is some evidence that's saying that it could exist, with an instructional animation handbook written by Eric Goldberg himself, stating the following: just for yokes, imagine if you got the secret dream assignment of many animators. Do a 30-second test of Bill Watterson's Calvin and Hobbes. If you can figure out a better place to get your poses than in Watterson's beautiful, practically animated already drawings, then good luck for you. Of course, that's all word of mouth. Maybe it did exist, but unless they can actually provide truth and or say that it's confirmed or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Ah, yeah, Bad Apple. A classical musical piece of internet history. This is a remix of one of the soundtracks for the fourth Touhou game, which was uploaded to Nico Nico Douga. Mew, a Nico Nico user, drew a few storyboards which, I mean, they said that there's mixed reactions, but some artists were inspired by these and created music videos with them. Anera, another user, created the music video in the shadow art style. And yeah, obviously this is this is the most popular one out of all of them, but interestingly enough, there's an extended version which was shown in live shows at events, and only slight footage exists from these live events. I would actually like to see the full version, but it's unknown if it will ever be released, unless more video footage exists. I am a huge fan of alternate history, and looking at the Lost Media article, I'm only aware of one YouTuber on this list. I heard this guy had a mental breakdown, and for some reason, I watched like one video. Yeah, I gotta stop watching YouTube videos every time I fall asleep. Autoplay is weird. Anyways, the idea of the series was that four people, were to talk about, discuss about, and even argue about alternate history and what led to these points and whatnot. Episode 1 was basically, well, it involves World War II and a certain German group. Episode 2 does supposedly exist, given that it can be viewed in a playlist, but we'll never know what it's about. For all we know, it could be something about a rich billionaire shooting down Santa Claus, or whatever. So it seems like Pig Gamer beat me to this when it comes to covering this video. But you should know, dear viewer, I also recently came across this on a Jaden Salads video, talking about traumatizing videos. So he kinda beat Gamer by a few months. I'm sure everyone knows about the duck song, wanting his grapes. Why? Because that duck has to eat grapes. He has his priorities straight. I barely seen any parody videos based on this song, but I'm not surprised that parodies exist. What surprises me is that people actually hate this song. And I actually know someone on Discord who pretty much hates this song as well, so yeah, wait until I tell him that these duckfail videos exist. So yeah, parts 3 and 4 are currently lost, and if you've seen either videos of the first two parts, yeah, it kinda gets dark. Supposedly, part 3, it has more content. In Pig's Gamer's video, he actually does prove that there is more content to it. So unless part 3 is re-uploaded, we can't confirm it exactly until we see it. Speaking of Pig Gamer, and yeah, sorry I had to steal this entry too, but like, it was not my intention because you'll see why in a minute. Anyways, he also mentioned that in this video, there's this video that was recreated by Look Inspire, and what surprises me about this one, I think I've actually seen this video. Yeah, like finally, there's like lost media I can finally talk about. Something that I've been able to witness. But yeah, anyways. Look Inspire recreate this video called Weird and Ugly Cats. Basically a video showcasing several weird and creepy cat images while the Meow Mix song plays in a low quality like tone. Gods, something about these old creepy images like this gives me the creeps. Like, I know we have AI nowadays, but like, this is something that can't even mimic about these images. Like, even if it tried. So, this is my experience with this video. Back when I was a Jehovah's Witness, we used to have like these household meetings, and every like Thursday, and an old friend of mine used to share like these YouTube videos on their 2000s computer. Like, and every time we like visit her after those meetings, she would always show us like these jump scare videos. I honestly hated that part, but like, hey, at least that's how I discovered the Nintendo On and like the PlayStation 4 videos back then. Anyways, I'm pretty sure she showed us this video. The thing I can only remember about it, it's like all I can remember is like the creepy vibes and like knowing that there's like a possible jump scare. I like looked away from the computer, so like, but I'm pretty sure this would have existed. If it's still on YouTube, maybe it's under a different name. I might even try to find this video myself, maybe to bring some closure to this mystery. I recommend watching Pig Gamer's video on this, because he talks about it more in detail. It's a really interesting video. Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, it's been an interesting year. So, hopefully this year in 2025, there'll be even more progress when it comes to lost media. I'll try to upload more videos as I can, as well. I actually have a few video ideas, but we'll see if I'll be able to like make progress on them. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I wish you all a great day.